I had a lot of time to think about our presidents, about our founding fathers, and as I sat there, I thought about that old story, and it's a story of after he died, they put his body on a train, and the train went from Georgia to Washington, D.C., and people just spontaneously stood on the side of the rail tracks to show their respect. And a reporter was standing next to one guy along the tracks who was just sobbing, and just a regular guy had his hat across his chest, and the reporter says to him, "Sir, do you mind me asking, but did you know President Roosevelt?" And the guy says, "No, I didn't know President Roosevelt, but he knew me. He knew me." That is empathy. That is what is missing in the White House right now. It is the president in other people's shoes. And I can promise you this, that I will know you, and I will fight for you. I know the people who can't stretch their paychecks to pay for their rent. I know the people that have to choose between paying for child care for their own kids and long-term care for their parents. I know the people that have to decide between filling their refrigerator and filling their prescription drugs. That's what we're talking about here. So when we think about recruiting our neighbors, not just in the primary, but please do that, to vote, when we think about bringing them along, especially in your great state, so we make sure that we re-elect the wonderful Senator Jean Shaheen. And when we think about recruiting people all over the country that maybe stayed home and bringing them with us to vote, we've got to be the ambassadors to do that. And when you think about that, yes, he's a bully, yes, he's a racist, but you have to remember to talk about those unmade promises, the promises that he didn't keep, the promises that he put out there, and how he's left those people behind and they're not part of the shared prosperity. The second thing is, we can't go down every rabbit hole with him. And no one had run against him like what happened back in 2016. We know that. And we've learned a lot since then. We know he likes to be the distractor-in-chief, the divider-in-chief, that he likes to make these tweets in his bathrobe at 4 a.m., which I promise I will never do. We know what he likes to do. So a lot of it is ignoring him. Some of it is using humor. I hope you've seen on the debate stage that I am nimble to take him on. Yeah. Because I think that is going to be really important. But the other piece that is the most important thing is to have an optimistic economic agenda for the people of this country. And that means taking on their challenges. That means first and foremost the challenge of healthcare and making sure that we have an actual plan and not a pipe dream. And by the way, the difference between a plan and a pipe dream, and people can tell this difference, is a plan is something that you can show how you're going to pay for it, and you can show how you can get it done. Yep. I am the one on the debate stage and running for president that has passed over 100 bills as a lead Democrat since I got to this. 40 of them since Donald Trump became president. I guess he didn't know it, I don't know. But I have done that. And when I look at this healthcare issue, I first look at it practically. The Affordable Care Act, and by the way, we just saw this down in Louisiana, where we re-elected a Democratic governor. In Kentucky, where Mitch McConnell now has a Democratic governor. A lot of the issues there were fired up Democratic race and then bringing in these independents and moderate Republicans. And we did it in part because of that patriotism check, decency check I just talked about. But we also did it with this focus on health care. So let's be practical for a second. The Affordable Care Act is now nearly 10 points more popular than the President of the United States. So I don't think we should be blowing it up. I think we should be looking at how we make bridges to make it better. So the first thing is bring down the cost of premiums with a non-profit public option, something that Barack Obama wanted to do from the very beginning. The second thing is taking on pharmaceutical prices in a big way. And when we talk about having receipts earlier, I'm the one that's been leading those bills since I got to the Senate. I could not believe when I found out that pharma, which has 2 lobbyists for every member of Congress, they had gotten written into law before I got there, a provision that bans Medicare, it's in law, from negotiating cheaper drug prices for 45 million seniors in the United States of America. That's it. That's why that happens. Medicaid can do it, the VA can do it, but Medicare cannot do it. So that's why I drafted and lead the bill in the U.S. Senate with over 30 co-sponsors that I can get done as president that simply removes that language so that we can negotiate less expensive drug prices for the people of this country. We now have